Alright, I'm doing a drill press chuck mega review. I recently had the need to replace a chuck on my new drill press. I wasn't happy with the old one, and we're going to look at several brands here, do run-out tests on everything, and give you some ideas which one might be a good choice if you need to replace a chuck on your drill press. The first category is value chucks. I've got 3 of those to look at today, and it might be something that came with your drill press initially, or it may be a branded chuck that just tends to have a lower price tag to it. That's often appreciated, but we want to know, hey, are there any sacrifices in terms of quality or the amount of run out that that chuck produces? And that'll include 3 plain bearing chucks, like this unbranded one that came with my Laguna drill press, 5/8 inch capacity on that. This version from CAN CNC with the nice green chuck key, that's got a 5/8 inch capacity as well. And then a 1/2 inch version from Jacobs, and on this one I really like the way the chuck key engages with that tooth ring. So here's my new drill press, and I like 99% about this machine. It's a really nice drill press with some neat features. I just didn't like the chuck, so that's an easy thing to replace. I've even got this set up on automatic dust collection. And that gives me really nice dust collection through the table and the fence, but since the base on my indicator is actually magnetic, I'll have to lose this table. So just 4 bolts there, and that'll reveal the nice cast iron table that came with the drill press. First up is that Jacobs chuck, and the capacity on this is 0 to 1/2 inch, and when I say 0, I mean 0. That thing goes right down to closed, so really no drill bit that couldn't work in this chuck all the way up to 1/2 inch. And it uses that smaller taper, the JT33 on the lower end, so we'll get that mounted and check the performance as well as the run out. So all of the arbors I'm going to use have this little tang on the top, and that's key for both installation and removal. You want to rotate the spindle on the drill press until you can basically see through there. There's a little sight window, and that's what you need to align the tang with. It'll go in only part way, rotated a certain direction, and you rotate it the correct direction, it'll insert a little bit further. From there, you want to seat it either just by dropping the arbor down on the drill press or tapping it in with a rubber mallet. And that's all it takes. But for the measuring pin, instead of a drill bit, I'm actually going to use this machined 1/2 inch pin. Typically that would come with a centering cone in a router kit, but that'll be perfect because it'll work for both this 1/2 inch chuck as well as the larger versions. I've marked 2 lines on that test shaft, and one is 1 inch up from the bottom. That's how far I'll insert it into each chuck. The other one is 1/4 inch from the bottom. That's where we'll take our readings. On this one, I really like the way that chuck key engages with the tooth ring. It just gives you a very positive feel as you tighten that home. Okay, so we'll rotate that slowly by hand, and not worrying if it jumps because I wiggled something, but seeing if it'll stay there. What's the maximum run out we can measure that stays? 2 thousandths, 3 thousandths, and I think that's going to be about it. Come back to 2, 1. Let's make sure it zeroes out again, and we do zero out. So on that smaller Jacobs chuck, we've got a total run out of 3 thousandths measured this way. And we'll drop that out with a little wedge tool that may have come with your drill press. If it didn't, they're pretty easy to source online. Not much to it. Next, we'll take a look at the CAN CNC chuck. This is a Canadian company. This one's actually manufactured in China, but it's the one that comes with this large green chuck key. I really like the action on that one. For testing purposes, I'll be using this lambric arbor. The action on this one is smooth, but I can only describe it as feeling a little bit looser than the others. Some of them have a feeling like they're packed with grease. This one just has a feeling like it has light oil in there, so gives it a smooth but somewhat loose feel. Let's test the run out on that. So once zeroed, we'll give that one a spin, and it looks like we have 1 thousandth. Wow, that's truly impressive. Within 1 thousandth on the CAN CNC. Very nice. There we go. Here's the original unbranded chuck that came with my drill press. The performance on this chuck was actually quite good, and I was glad to see that it had a 5/8 inch capacity. The only thing I didn't like about this original chuck was the key that it came with felt a little bit loose or sloppy. I was more hesitant than usual to replace the chuck key because it actually has to fit in this little micro switch. This will prevent the machine from coming on if that's not installed. But in the end, I figured I could just leave that original chuck key installed in the micro switch slot and use whatever chuck I want. Okay, we're zeroed out, we're ready to go, and we'll spin that around, see what we get to. We got 2 thousandths. We're flirting with 3. Looks like it stays at 3. I got 4 thousandths, 5. Let's see if it'll come back down to 0 though. 6 thousandths. That's a little more than I like on a typical runout test. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do we get back to 0? We never get back to 0, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Re-zero that and try again. 4. Yeah, we only got up to 4, and that's consistent with the performance I'm getting with this. I didn't really notice the runout being bad, I just didn't like the chuck key. So a total of 4 thousandths on that original one. There we go. And then just a quick word about the arbors. If you're replacing the chuck, you want to make sure that both tapers on that arbor match up with either your existing situation or you'll need to replace the arbor. There's a long upper taper that needs to fit into the spindle of your drill press. Mine is a Morse taper too. And then there's a shorter lower taper, and that's typically described as a Jacobs taper. This is a JT3, and you'll see that often with a 5/8 inch capacity chuck. But there's also a slightly smaller JT33, and that often goes along with a smaller capacity 1/2 inch chuck. And if you really get some unexpected wobble, make sure that both the arbor and the chuck are clean as you insert those, and you can always reseat them if needed if something doesn't feel right. The next category is one of my favorite, a full ball bearing chuck. You can get them in a nice large size and they just have such a smooth action, so let's test those. And these are the ones I call my dinner potato chucks. They look like a big Yukon Gold sitting on your dinner table, but this is the Jacobs 16N, 5/8 inch capacity, full ball bearing, so it's a really smooth action. We'll give that one a full test. As well as this ball bearing version from Lambrick. This is a CBB 16J3. So stepping up to a full ball bearing chuck, the action is really smooth, and also it uses a larger chuck key. So this is a K4 chuck key, larger 3/8 inch pilot hole, and I just absolutely love the action on those. It's so easy to get a good snug fit. With that zeroed out, we'll give the CBB 16J3 a little test run. I see 1 thou, 2 thou, 3, 4. And we're coming back down. Let's see if it zeroes out. We did get back to 0. Let's flip it around, zero it out, and try it again. Get a true 0 on that, and we'll try it again. 2, 3. Flirting with 4, but we never got to it that time. And came back to 0. So with the Lambrick full ball bearing, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and call it 3 thousandths. Yes, sir. And now we'll go with the Jacobs super ball bearing chuck. So full ball bearing on this one, 5/8 inch capacity. And I try to be as scientific as possible with these little shop tests, but just a note on this one, I'm going to be using the Jacobs brand arbor. Make sure the jaws are retracted on that. We'll get that chuck seated. And this is the chuck I've been using for my woodworking lately, and I've been really happy with it. Again, I love that large K4 key. Just has a really nice action. And as far as the drilling performance, I've been happy with it. I don't notice any wobble. I don't notice the board moving as I start to drill even large Fosner holes. So I'll be really interested to see the arbor run out on this one. And we'll give that one a spin, see what kind of run out we can find. There's 1,000th. 2. It won't stay at 3, so I'm calling that 2. 2. Back down to 1, and it zeroes out. So we got a clean test for the Jacobs super ball bearing chuck at 2 thousandths. And really jumping up to any chuck that uses that larger K4 key might be an advantage. I really like it myself. I just find it so positive in the way that that lets you release the bit. I actually love it. And we'll drop that super ball bearing chuck out. Yes sir, yes sir. And the next category is keyless chucks. We've got one of those to look at today from Lambrick, and I tell you what, this is becoming a very popular style of chuck for your drill press. As a keyless chuck, it has some pros and cons to it. It's pretty easy just to snug in a standard bit, but I tell you what, I wouldn't want to use it in reverse direction on my drill press just because it could come loose, but it does come with a wrench too, so that's another option. You could snug things up a little further if needed. We'll get our test pin situated and snug that up. This one I would expect one of the better accuracies of the group just because they tout high accuracy for this. Automatic blast gate going. They tout kind of high level accuracy for this. It flirted with the 1000th but didn't stay there, so I'm going to call that 0. I think we're all the way back around, so no run out at all on this Lambrick keyless. That's excellent. Then as far as removing an arbor from a chuck, just look at it when you put it together to see what might be the best tools. It's possible you might have to use specialty wedges to remove that, but if there's a through hole, you can typically just use a nail set, and that works fine for me. There we go. So final analysis on these different brands and models of drill press chucks. You know, the main reason somebody might go shopping for a new chuck is if they have visible wobble. That can be pretty annoying, and it definitely affects your accuracy in the shop. So if you have that sort of issue, try dropping it out, cleaning it, and reseating it. See if you can get that to improve a bit. But if not, and you feel like you need to go shopping for a new one, you know, there's those in the woodworking crowd that say, hey, a keyless chuck is the only way to go because of accuracy. Well, I can't deny that. The one I checked was very accurate. I just don't tend to prefer a keyless chuck. So for me, if a 1/2 inch capacity would do it, I would probably go with this Jacobs standard bearing model. That's a real nice one. Or if you like the idea of using that larger chuck key plus the extra capacity of a 5/8, I would go with the Jacobs super ball bearing version. Or if you want to stick to a little tighter budget, try this CAN CNC model with that green chuck key. Hit me with a quick thumbs up if you like this particular topic, and please do consider subscribing to the Thoughtful Woodworker channel. Providing information and video resources has always been very important to me, so as always, drop down to the description box for both product links as well as related videos on this topic. That one got away from me.